I feel like I'm in a better mood today. It's been raining every day for like the past week or so. Today is bright and sunny. Makes me feel good. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the rain just like the next person. There's a lot of people who actually like when it rains. I like when it rains too to a degree. I just don't like when it rains too much. It's how you end up getting sick. You see, we're living in a time now where it no longer matters if it's a bright and sunny day. You don't really see children going outside playing anymore. You see them playing around a lot more now than you did back then. That's the ironic thing. You just don't see them playing around outside anymore. They spend most of their time on the internet, trolling and shit. Everybody is capable of doing stand-up now. The ones that would be talking the most shit about you are the ones that call themselves your friends. So you have to be wise, you have to be intelligent to know that you don't have any friends. Those things don't exist anymore. If you don't live a completely fake life using CPUs, everything else does not matter. You might as well be dead. And I believe that's mostly the reason why I don't be wanting to be around people too much, because they don't have a soul. Some people, they speak very proudly. When they open their mouth to speak, they speak very proudly without knowing anything about you. They think so highly of themselves these days. Everyone's becoming narcissists. And see, that type of thing used to be easy to spot back in the day. When someone was an egomaniac and they sit around all day plotting and speaking very highly of themselves, those people were quite noticeable. But see, now we live in a time where people don't really know anymore, bro. It's almost as if they're just dumb or something, bro. I mean, they usually don't find out that the person is a narcissist or an egomaniac until they insert some type of relationship with them, or they end up in these living situations with them to where they're living in the same house together. And that's when they start to realize things about that other person, but their own self-worship would never lead them to come to that conclusion about themselves. Almost never. They always have a way of dressing themselves up like they're not like them, they're just special. Everyone believes they're special nowadays. Until you start asking them specific reasons what makes them special, then they'll call you a hater. Nobody is your friend anymore. That person you're calling your sister, your brother, even if they are blood related to you, that person is no longer your brother or sister anymore. They're just like the rest of these animals roaming the planet who think very highly of themselves. They never acknowledge God for anything. Now, if they've been struggling or looking for a job, they'll say praise be the Most High then. If something goes well for them, oh man, God's right on time. You'll hear them say stuff like that. Completely fake. These people are so fake with themselves that they don't even know when they're being fake with themselves anymore because they lived in a virtual reality. People don't understand the dangers of virtual reality these days. How it can truly affect the psyche. It will have you out here thinking that you're living a totally different lifestyle. These people actually believe that they're that person, bro. Especially these women. Bro, these women, they would get up there, they would take so many selfies, bro. The self-worship, the self-idolization, these men are like fools. They fawn over these women. It baffles me how, it's funny because I used to be one of those people. I used to fawn over some of these women. When they take all them selfies like that and they start stripping down, taking their clothes off and shit, I used to be all for it. I used to be all for it, man. I didn't even realize I was being desensitized. I started forgetting what a real woman should be like. I started forgetting myself even. And yeah, I could still come out in the day and enjoy the sunlight as much as I did when I was a kid. See, when I was a kid, we actually would go outside and play when I was a kid. Because yeah, the internet was a thing, but it didn't completely consume our lives. Because first of all, not everybody had a computer. If you had a friend in your neighborhood who just so happened to have a laptop or a computer, oh yeah, that dude was friends with everybody. Everybody was cool with him. It was the same thing with the with like Sega Genesis or Nintendo. Because every kid did not have a game system in their house. If you had a Sega Genesis and you lived down the street from me, you better believe that I was going to become cool with you at some point. I'll be trying to spend a night at your house this weekend probably. Me and the rest of my friends. We used to have unplanned sleepovers. You don't really see shit like that too much anymore. Excuse my language. I don't even like to use that type of language anymore, man. Because to me, that sounds like a man who doesn't know what to say. That's just my personal takes. I feel like that a man who speaks like that doesn't really know what to say, so he'll say anything. So yeah, I'm not just hard on other people, I'm hard on myself too. I have to beat sense into myself sometimes. I have to make sure I understand certain things, bro. Because I don't want to be out here looking crazy like how some of these people be looking crazy at me right now. Some of these people, man, I've gotten so used to asking myself the question in my head, what the hell is wrong with you? That I just stopped asking that question eventually. I don't even wonder what be wrong with people anymore. It's pretty easy to figure out these days. These people are mindless slaves. They are mindless slaves. And that is a dangerous thing because it makes it very accessible. It makes you very accessible to these demons that want to take over you. They come in all shapes and sizes, man. They come in all shapes and sizes. They all have different agendas for you too. I remember like 2 weeks ago, I watched I watched some video on YouTube, and it was basically the dude was talking about how Kanye West, he had made this music video before, and in the video he like pulled a demon out of his stomach. I was sitting there watching the shit, bro, and I was creeped out, man, because I never heard about this video before. I don't remember ever seeing that video before. I was never a big fan of Kanye's music like that anyway. You know, some of his songs and his in the beginning stages of his career were like inspiring to me. I like some of them, man. He was actually talking about something that young men need to hear during that time. And which was funny because during that time, I wasn't someone who was really into that type of music. I was just like everybody else, party and turn up. Yeah, you a bad B.I., huh? Yeah, come to my house later. I got a phone book that's 2 inches thick. Because everybody didn't have a cell phone. I had a big ass phone book. That was my whole thing, bro. I was just like, I didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. I thought I was supposed to be doing things like that. I wasn't, I felt like if I wasn't doing things like that, then I could never be a part of anything. I would never be at peace with society. They will always see me as the weird one, just like they did when I was a little boy. Because I would sit down in my desk in the room all day and just write. And then after I finished writing, I might go outside and play with ants or something. I'm 10 years old. The other kids didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. Most 10-year-olds didn't do stuff like that in the middle of the summer. So I acknowledged that something was always different about me. I just didn't understand why or what. I didn't want to be different. I wanted to be just the same as everyone else. I didn't have a father there to teach me what my purpose was and to coming into manhood. Things I should expect to see as a man. Things I might experience as a man. My stepfather, he did the best he could, but he was still figuring things out for himself, man. He was still trying to figure out whether or not he wanted to even make this relationship work with my mother because she drinks so much every day. Something she started doing after my real father died. Before my father died, my mother ain't never drink like that. I mean, she did, but she didn't drink like that. That happened after he passed away, which some people don't seem to know because they've been so used to seeing her in that sad state for so many years. See, me, I can still come out and enjoy the weather just the same as I always did, man. I've always been at peace with nature. That's another thing most kids didn't really understand about me either. Like, bro, like, for real, like, I was the type of little boy, I'd go out, if I just so happen to be in like a forested or wooded area, I'd be out in the woods all day. I'd rather be playing out in the woods than playing at some public park. I didn't care about public parks too much. I mean, especially after I got chased by a pedophile one day. This guy who used to be sitting in the park every day, me and my best friend Michael. He used to be sitting out there every day watching me and Michael run around and shit. You know, chasing girls and stuff. While we were sitting there having fun, this man would just watch us every day. I didn't know. We didn't really understand why he was doing that. We thought, at least I did anyway, I thought it was fun for him to watch me have fun. I thought he was happy for me and shit, so I never really saw him as a threat or someone who would try to hurt me. I didn't understand the world that I was living in because I didn't have anyone to teach me about things like this. And these type of spirits that be behind people. These demons that be sitting here watching and plotting on little children. I had no idea about none of that, man. I had to learn a lot of things from first-hand experience, which a lot of people don't know. They thought I was just like the most mysterious kid ever because I went from barely knowing how to read 5 sentences out loud without struggling to being an honor roll student and being smarter than everybody. By the time I was in the 3rd grade, I was reading on almost a college level. They didn't understand how I just transformed like that seemingly overnight. It was the same summer that I would just sit in my room all day and just write for hours. It was around that same time. By the time school came back in, after that summer ended, bruh, ain't nobody have a report card like mine. Nobody. My mother couldn't believe it. Nobody couldn't believe it. I never used to sit back and worry about getting my ass whooped because I had bad grades. I didn't have those problems. As a matter of fact, those problems just completely went away. And like I said, I could barely even read. I had experienced so much trauma at that point in my life that a lot of times I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, where I was supposed to be, or what I should be doing. I had no idea, man. Again, my father had just passed away. I still had, you know what I mean? I was still seeing the funeral play out in his funeral play out in my head all the time. And how I remember seeing all these people at the funeral that I haven't seen in years, even my brothers and sisters. I haven't seen them in years. You know what I mean? It was just like, it was a lot of things that I was going through. I felt like I was, and plus I was sick all the time. So I forgot to mention that. I had during this time, I had went through a major transformation because I was a very sickly little boy. I could barely read and write. I couldn't do anything. I was always in a bed sick or in a hospital. They either had me hooked to a respirator or I would be hooked to an asthma pump all day with a nebulizer right next to me. I always had problems with my lungs and stuff. And then I had some type of head trauma too, from what I understand. They never really gave me the details of what exactly happened to me when I was a little boy. But with that being said, I was always very ill. I was in a hospital all the time. I still have scars on my body to this day from when they sticking me with all these IVs and shit, bro. I still have those scars to this day. So I went from being sick all the time, never really being able to go outside and play with my friends too much, or the kids that lived downstairs from me. I used to always want to play with them. I went from I went from that and not knowing much about schoolwork and stuff like that. I didn't understand the point of school and what it was about or anything, man. So the first time they took me in that school building, I still remember the day. It was Clinton Ave. The first school I ever went to. They took me inside that building. They introduced me as my teacher. I'm like, who is this? This is your teacher. No, she ain't. I ain't never seen her before. How is she my teacher? And she went to grab me and I slapped her. And I still remember that day clearly. She tried to grab me and I slapped her, bro. Because I didn't know who she was. And I didn't understand the purpose of me being there. I didn't care about none of that. I had seen enough already at that point. It was a lot of things happening to me. For me to be a kid so young, man, the amount of trauma that I experienced during that time period, it amazes me that I actually went through all that and still came out alive and on top. Because this is stuff that I don't even really, I don't really think about those days too much right now. I don't just sit back remembering these things. I'm thinking about these things right now because I never really realized just how much transformation and growth I had to go through during this time period. God was already working on me back then and I didn't even know it. Like, bro, seriously, man. I remember after that one summer, I think that was the year I turned 10. This was after I got chased by the pedophile, me and my best friend Michael. When I started getting all them good grades and stuff, I'm starting to bring home honor roll level report cards now. And it didn't make sense. People didn't understand how I just jumped up one day and just became an honor roll student. And it didn't make sense to people. I was smarter than everybody, it seemed like. Like, seriously, if you put me in the spelling bee contest, and especially if you bet money on me, you're going to get your money back. That's how serious it was, man. I was able to read on a college level for real. Everything started happening for me around that time. This right here, that was when this showed up. This mode was not always here. It was never there. I still remember that night after I opened my window and I saw that big flash of light and I still don't know where it came from. I don't know where it came from. And then I started seeing like a green orb. It was like a light that would just be shining from somewhere on my bed. I would show my sisters, I would tell my cousins to come over to my house and stuff. And I would show them, bro. And I would ask all of them, where's that light coming from? And they would never answer. None of them ever knew where it was coming from. They couldn't say I was crazy because they saw it too. What was really amazing to them was how I just suddenly went from barely knowing how to read to being honor roll and getting A's and B's all across the board in every subject. In every subject, not just one or two. Bruh, kids used to look at me, they used to think that I was getting everything I wanted for Christmas because I had such good grades, when that wasn't true. My mom never gave me whatever I wanted. She would never just sit there and just give me whatever I want like that. Not when I was a little kid. Even if she had it, man, my mom was the type of person, if she had money, the first thing she's going to think about is what she wants. Everything else comes second. And like I said, after my father passed away, she had a bit of a drinking problem. So you already know what time it is with that. You can't give someone like that money. They're going to drink it away. And that was what she used to do. She would even sell her food stamps. You know, I'm not trying to bash my mother and things like that. But all of that stuff took effect on me. I used to see stuff like that. Again, I would see stuff like that, and I wouldn't know where I was supposed to be or what I was supposed to be doing. I couldn't draw inspiration from my mother. My mother was always depressed over my dead father. So I didn't know who I was supposed to be. Should I be more like him? And I would go outside. I would get in fights with other kids all the time, bro. And I still remember that day she told me, she said, that's how your father was. He would just go out and beat people up. She said, if you even fix his food wrong, if you don't cook his food exactly how he likes it, he'll jump up and knock the shit out you. He don't care how long he's known you either. I mean, this is stuff I didn't know. She barely talked about my father with me. The only thing I knew about him was whatever memories I had left of him. My mother never really talked about him. Not with me anyway. So I was a little bit surprised when she told me that. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying this weather today. This is a major change in status quo. Cause all that rain, man, I was getting sick of it, bro. I was getting tired of all the rain, man. Hopefully it doesn't rain later on today. It wouldn't even surprise me if it starts raining later on tonight or something. It rains all the time. They're like trying to block out the sun and things like that. But that's a whole different subject. I'm not even going to touch that one right now. There are a lot of things happening right now that people don't know about, but they need to be aware of. They actually need to be aware of these things. And then this is why I was talking about when I said how people be wondering why I don't be wanting to be around them like that. It's not that I think you're dumb or retarded, but you lack understanding to the as if you are someone who's dumb or retarded. Because you're intelligent from a physical standpoint. A lot of these people are very intelligent. They're not stupid people at all. But when it comes to a spiritual matter, these people know almost nothing. My sister is one of the biggest phonies you'll ever meet. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to talk crap on my friends and family, bro. But it just shows you just how serious it can get when people have no understanding of self. They become narcissists. They start thinking that they have a level of understanding of self that you don't have of them because you're not smart enough. And they're going to teach you to be like them or want to be like them. You have to stay away from these type of spirits, bro. These people are very self-destructive, and they'll take you with them if they think they can. Especially if you're someone who is high in spirit, who has spiritual intelligence. They're not just running around, talking shit, running their mouth, talking about they see ghosts and stuff. Bro, these people are funny, bro. I remember this girl at my job one day asked me if I believe in ghosts. because how do we get on that subject? Oh, I told her the reason why we got on that subject was because I told her one day that I don't really be killing bugs and stuff like that. I don't just step on bugs just because I see one. I'm not scared of them. And you'll notice that a lot of them are not scared of me either, because normally when someone approaches like a bug or something, they're getting too close to that bug is going to run away because he don't want you to step on him. He already knows what you're thinking. You're thinking about stepping on him or getting someone else to do it. But people will start, if they're around me long enough, they'll start noticing that animals and insects do not run from me. They never, as a matter of fact, some of them will approach me. They will come right up to me as if they know it, because they know who I am. They know who I am. They are able to read my spirit. Bro, people don't understand. This is for real, bro. Animals can read your spirit, bro, whether you actually believe it or not. They know what kind of spirit that's behind you. That's why if when you see animals running the streets and stuff like that, when you start getting too close to them, they always run away. Because they already seen just how evil humanity is right now. These people went out in the woods and destroyed their homes and stuff, man. They were making fur coats out of their children right in front of them. They would see things like this happen. Animals are not stupid, bro. They see the stuff that we do to them. The stuff that we do to them, they could never, ever have done to us, ever, even if they tried to, bro. The worst possible thing they can do to us is attack us and kill us. We, on the other hand, have done things some unthinkable things to these animals. And I'm supposed to think we're not a danger to them, they're a danger to us. So if I see a wild lion out in the open right now, I'm supposed to run because it's a lion? No, I'm not going to run now. That lion just so happened to maul me to death. I feel him. I actually understand, bro, why he decided to do that to me. Because I'm over here with them. He ain't got no personal problem with me. He got a problem with them, and I'm over here with them. So I must be with them. It's time to step up, yo. You're either an ally or a bully. Nobody is your friend anymore. Every person that I know, if I go around them right now, I already understand this person is most likely a bully. This is not an ally. And the reason why I'm calling them a bully is because they all do the same thing. They're going to try to get me to do things that I don't normally do. They're going to be like, hey, you still smoke? No. Come on, hit this, man. You chilling with me today. Hit that. They start doing stuff like that. They try to get me to drink with them and stuff. And then I start telling them things about that are actually happening in my life right now. And how almost everything has become spiritual with me, whether or not I choose it. You know, one of these idiots told me to balance it out. He said, oh yeah, don't worry about it, just balance it out. That's like telling God, shut up, bro. This is what I be talking about when I say people have very little to no understanding. He doesn't even know that him telling me that is him basically telling God to shut up. Because if God has a calling to me and he's telling me what I should be doing and he's in constant communication with me, why is this man telling me that I need to tune him out every now and then so I can live a balanced lifestyle? And the answer to everything is always very simple. When you try to explain to them that, you're trying to have a better understanding of who the Most High is and why he chose you, you know what they're going to do? They're going to say, let's sit down on the couch and watch a movie. Forget about all that for right now. Let's watch a movie, bro. I'm going to pack this bowl right here. We finna get high. Even though you don't smoke, I'm going to try to get you to get high with me anyway. Again, because when they have no understanding on a spiritual level, they actually hate you for that. They're not going to tell you that, though. They're not going to tell you they don't like you because you have a level of spiritual understanding that they wish they had for themselves. And they could if they wanted to. They just don't know how to go about that. I didn't know how to go about it myself. So I already know that they don't know how to do it. There were things that were happening in my life I didn't have a choice but to understand. Because I wasn't being taught anything. My father was dead and my mother was an alcoholic. I wasn't taught anything spiritually or from a physical standpoint. I wasn't even being taught how to be a man, how to grow into a normal man, a good man. I wasn't being taught that. Again, so when people saw me just all of a sudden I'm honor roll and stuff, that didn't make sense to people. I just went in a whole totally different direction just out of nowhere, bro. This is the same guy who had lead poisoning. I was in and out the hospital all the time. All of a sudden, I'm an honor roll student, bro. Reading on a college level. That didn't make sense to people. I was always the weird guy. My sisters used to talk about me like that. Everybody, man. Even my mom would say that shit about me. You weird. My mom didn't even see me as being something normal or something that should exist. She ain't never tell me she was proud of me because she was too knee deep in alcohol all the time to even know what the hell she was. And so right now, at this point in my life, I am always intrigued by how the Most High works. Whenever I see anything miraculous, and I know it was the Most High's doing, it makes me feel very happy inside. It makes me feel happier than I ever felt, bro. It makes me feel things that no person could ever make me feel. I've had a lot of women tell me they love me before, and I never believed them. I will always want to believe them. I will want to believe she's telling the truth. And I would trust her just because she said it. Nowadays, man, I pretty much never believe anyone when they say they love me. Because they don't understand nothing about me, bro. When I start talking to them about how I live my life on a spiritual level, they completely tune me out, bro. They would say, let's watch a movie. But this same person is telling me he or she loves me. Doesn't make any sense. They don't get it, bro. They don't get how it doesn't make sense to me. I have to actually break that down for them in a way that they can understand, that makes sense to them. The way they treat me, they have no understanding of self to a point where they don't even know how they're treating other people. This is why I'm saying these people are retarded, bro. They might as well be dead. This is why I say stuff like that. I'm not trying to insult them, bro, because it actually hurts my feelings when my family has no understanding of anything, not one of them. That actually can make a man depressed when he wants better for his family. When he wants better for himself and for his family, but his family can never be taught anything because they live in a virtual world just like everyone else. So that's why their response to everything is so cold and callous all the time, to the point where they just don't feel anything. Bro, the amount of times where I would try to share some of my experiences with my family, the things that be happening to me, how someone pointed a gun at my head, bro, was about to blow my damn head off one night. And the response is always the same. Let's just sit down, watch a movie, act like nothing happened. They have no understanding of anything, bro. These people really are dead. I'm not just saying these things to be mean, bro. I'm not trying to demean people or downgrade them, bro. No, they really are dead spiritually, bro. Their father is not there. Even if they know him, he's not there, bro. He's not there to teach them these things. He's not telling them to break away from that vicious ass cycle that you're in, bro, or you're gonna end up in a place that you don't wanna be. Trust me, you don't want to be there. You do not want to be there. I even try to explain this to some of my family and friends. You do not want to be in that place, bro. I'm not even going to say the name of that place because it's very obvious what I'm talking about. You don't want to be there. I remember a few months back, this person who calls himself my best friend, I used to say the same thing about him, but now I have a level of understanding of things that he doesn't have. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to put myself on a level that I'm not trying to place myself above him or nothing like that. But he lacks spiritual awareness, bro. That becomes a problem. When a person who is spiritually aware is in the same room with someone who is spiritually deceased, it becomes very noticeable very quickly. It's not something that you can just act like doesn't exist because you can't physically see it with your eyes. It doesn't work like that. But anyway, I'm over there, I'm at his house, I'm sitting with him, and sure enough, like always, when I'm around these type of people, they pick up right away. It's like right away they know that I'm not like them. So they try to pick at my brain and try to see how I feel about certain things that doesn't make sense to them. Instead of asking questions, bro, they would rather do things like this. Because, you know what I mean? It's like picking at a scab, bro, that's not healing. Instead of doing the proper things that you should be doing to get that scab to heal in a timely fashion, they'll just sit there and pick at it. This is what type of person he is. And it's not just him, it's a lot of people like this. Instead of asking questions, man, they'll play around all day. They would throw things out there just to see what you do. So he's sitting there, right? He's telling me about how he had this dream where he was passing through this place and he saw a lion first. It was a little tiny lion. He saw the lion ran away from him, but the hyena did not run away from him. The hyena actually let him pet him and play with him and stuff, right? And as this is happening, he's walking, he's passing by a cave. There's a man outside of the cave, guarding the cave, telling him, do not enter this place because they are praying in there. Now, when he told me that, I already knew he had a question in his head that he wanted to ask me. And like I said, when you're a spiritual man, there is a lot of things that doesn't even need to be said. You don't even have to know the person. I already knew what he was thinking as soon as he told me about the cave and how the man that was outside of the cave, guarding the cave, is telling him not to go in there. This guy is not sure if he wants to know what's really happening here. But at the same time, he wants me to tell him what's happening here. Just so he can say, well, I don't believe you. I don't think that's what happened. Then why you bring it to my attention? Obviously, there's something about me that you notice that you can't say out loud because you're not sure you want to believe it. So sure enough, he asked me, what do I think about this dream that he had? It's not about what I think. It's very obvious to me what happened here. First of all, you weren't dreaming. You was being shown your portion by the Most High himself. He had the angel of death standing outside that cave telling you, go the other way, bro. Because if I see you here again, you're going to be in there with them. I don't want to see you in there with them. Those people will never get out. Their prayers are not being answered, bro. That's why they're in there in the first place. Next time you pass through there, that hyena that you saw, that you thought was your friend, you're going to see him again. Only this time, he's going to transform into a man that looks like you. And he's going to be still laughing at how foolish you look. Because the angel told you to stay away from this place and you came back. You have to be a fool. That's why the devil appeared to you in the form of a hyena, bro. He laughs at how foolish you are. You are a foolish man. When you open your mouth to speak, you speak very proudly. But he knows if you enter that cave, he's going to hear you scream. He wants to hear you scream. He doesn't want to hear you pray. Because that's not why you're there. You're not there to pray, bro. Those people that are in there praying, they are praying that the Most High lets them out of that cave, bro. That cave of torment. They are praying so hard that the Most High frees them. And they are there forever. That angel warned you, bro. You don't want to be with them, bro. I'm trying to tell you, stay away from here, man. You don't want to know what goes on in there. You probably hear them praying, but right now, you don't know that's not all that goes on in that place. There's so much more to this place than what you think. That place is eternal. There is an entrance to the place, but you will never escape. You don't want to be like them. He was telling you, man, you better go over there, bro. I'm trying to tell you. You come over here, bro, you'll never be the same. That how arrogant you speak is not going to matter here, bro. They're only going to hear you scream. It's going to be funny to hear you scream like a bitch because you spoke so proudly all your life. That's why that hyena showed up, that laughing hyena showed up. He cannot wait to see you come back to that place. You understand what I'm saying? And no, you are not my best friend. If you was my best friend, you would have understanding of stuff like this. You wouldn't have to ask me, what do I think? It's not about what I think. It was very obvious to me what was happening there. That angel of death was letting you know, this is where you had it, bro. Yo, hey, turn back. I would turn back if I were you. They're praying over here. But their prayers will never be heard. You sure you want to be hanging with those people? Are you sure? Hello. Because if he's asked me that question, but he doesn't want to hear it, he doesn't want to hear it if I tell him that I actually know what the inside of that cave looks like because I was there before. The only reason why I'm not there anymore was because I was under the protection of the Most High. I didn't understand what was happening to me or why I was there. They don't want to hear none of that. You know what he'll do if I say something like that to him? Let's sit down and watch a movie, bro. Just like my sisters and everybody else seem to do. How they respond to me when it comes to anything, bro. When it comes to anything spiritual, they completely tune me out. They want me to listen to their stories and stuff just to find out what I think about what they're telling me. Trying to play mind games and stuff, which is very dangerous, bro. You don't play with the Most High, bro. I'm not calling myself the Most High, but when you're speaking about things like that, you're involving the Most High and you don't even know it. The Most High is the creator of these things, bro. You cannot just speak like this about him like he doesn't even exist. You can't just speak about him like he doesn't exist. How can you speak about things that he's created and not mention him? These people are slow, bro. These people are slow. I really don't try to be like, come off as disrespectful when I speak about things like this, but these people lack understanding on a spiritual standpoint to the point where they might as well not even be alive, man. It's the same shit all the time. I could go to any of their houses right now and I could just say, let's sit down and drink, and they would be all for it. Let's hit this blunt right here. I bought some weed. They want me to start doing stuff like that. Why? Because they want me to be low vibrational, bro. They don't want me having a higher level of consciousness. They don't want me having understanding of self because they don't have that. They don't have that. If they have something like that, see, that's the thing that I'm starting to realize. A lot of these people are undeserving of these things. They're not supposed to have a high level of understanding of spiritual awareness. Because when people have power, they abuse their power, bro. They abuse their authority. That's why you have so many narcissists running around, these egomaniacs, bro. Trying to get you to be more like them or wanting to be like them. That's what almost every person you meet is about these days. They want you to want to be more like them. Your opinion should never matter about anything, bro, if it doesn't line up with what they say. But anyway, I'm enjoying this beautiful day. It's nice, very nice weather today, man. It's not hot or cold out here, man. It's not rainy and wet. It is a very beautiful day, man. I'm in good spirits, and I don't want that to change. I don't want my spirits to change right now. I want to stay on this vibration right now. And because I'm starting to have a better understanding of how to protect myself from these things that tries to bring me down to a low functioning level. Had me not really caring about myself or how I should be doing certain things. That's not me anymore, bro. These people it's time for them to realize that, bro. You can't come around me anymore speaking like this. You have to know what you're saying. It's not just sit down and watch a movie and talk about nothing all day. You know that shit doesn't work with me anymore, bro. You gotta be talking about something, yo. If you ain't got nothing to say, then tell me you ain't got nothing to say. Tell me you're trying to have better understanding of things. You want a better understanding of yourself. I would actually have a conversation with you, yo. Believe it or not. I would talk to you. I would give you that conversation that you actually need right now. That you won't get from the average person. See, they know they can get that from me. They just so proud and arrogant that they'll never come to me and say, hey, yo, I need help, bro. I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about mentally either. I'm talking about spiritually. I need help, bro. Why my family can't come to me like this, bro? They never ever come to me like this. But they want me to do things for them. They had me giving them money and stuff. And basically helping them with anything physical, bro. Until they can't use me no more. Then when I don't have nothing, they start talking crazy about me. Laughing at me for not having nothing. Basically telling me I need to be more like them and stuff. That kind of stuff used to actually hurt my feelings. Believe me, these people are spiritually dead. Can a dead man jump up off the ground and hit you? When you start getting depressed about things like that, you have to really look at it for what it is. I ain't never see a dead man jump up off the ground and strike me in the face before. So why am I sad about him wanting to hurt me? Why do I feel like he wants to hurt me? How can I even worry about him wanting to hurt me? Does it make any sense? But see, when I start talking like this, a lot of times these type of conversations will go over their heads. Not because they're stupid, but because they're dumb. They don't even know that the way the word stupid is used in the Bible and the way the word dumb is used in the Bible are used very differently. The way the Bible describes someone who's dumb is someone who is dead spiritually. Someone who is dead spiritually is literally called dumb in the Bible. They are literally called dumb. Just like a man who had problems walking with his feet, he cannot even walk without a cane or a crutch. They would call him lame. You can't just walk up to people calling them lame anymore, bro. They would see that as disrespectful. But it meant something different back then. Those words are not used now the way they were used back then. They use words like that to demean people, bro, because they're evil. I mean, what other reason would they do it? Anyway, have a nice day, everyone. Or at least try to. And remember, if I'm speaking on things that sound familiar to you, You can't approach me, man, but you gotta be talking about something. You can't just be walking up to me just saying things, man. I'm not gonna hear you.
Excuse me, man. You know where that Kroger is at?
It's right here. It's right around that corner. See the Michael store right there?
Michael's?
That Michael store that's right there,
Uh-huh.
right across, is right around that corner.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. But yes, please, act like you got some sense though. That's all I ask, man. Don't come up to me trying to play with me. I'm not someone you play with. When it comes to spiritual things, I'm not someone you want to play with, man. As a matter of fact, you're almost damning yourself when you play at me like this. And I'm not calling myself anything. The reason why I'm telling you this is because that's basically what you're doing. You cannot speak about the things that the Most High created and not speak about the Most High or involve him in that conversation. You already come off as a fool. So you trying to joke around with me and make me look dumb, all you're doing is damning yourself, man. A lot of these people, like I said before, man, people think I be joking when I talk to them about stuff like this. Some of these people end up dead, bro. Not because I hurt them, but the Most High's wrath. The Most High will not be ignored, bro. The sooner people understand that, the better off they'll be. The Most High's will would not be ignored. That's why everything you see that's being talked about in the book of Revelations is describing everything that's happening right now to a T, bro. But I'm supposed to think this is just made up. This is just a foolish man who doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just good at guessing at everything, I guess. He's just good at guessing. No, man. It's very real. As a matter of fact, your spiritual self is more real than your physical body. What if I told you that? Would you believe me? Again, it doesn't matter to me whether you believe me. We don't deal with belief over here. The Most High's word is true. He doesn't deal with belief. His word existed before you did. So how can you question not what is being said is true? Doesn't make any sense. See, it's very simple to understand, but people make it more complicated than it actually is. It is complicated, but at the same time it's not. It seems more complicated than it needs to be because you're the spiritually deceased. You're a victim of self. God didn't do that to you. He gave you free will. Adios.